Okay. Right, today's yoga is going to be strong and we are going to focus on the lower half of the body, but we're going to sit on our block to start with. So get yourself comfortable, place your bottom on a block, get rid of the fleshy part of the bottom and sit up nice and tall. So you want to be able to stay here for a little while. So sitting up tall, thinking about openness through the hips, thinking about engaging that core ever so lightly, thinking about those ribs being drawn in and down, shoulders over hips, thinking about that cord through the crown of the head, lifting you up towards the ceiling, nice long spine. And we're just going to close off the eyes and settle into our breathing. So I just want you to close the eyes just for a moment or two and just focus in on what's kind of happening in your body right now. So the sensations perhaps of the sit bones against the block, the sensations of the clothes against the skin, maybe the feeling of the breath entering the body and then leaving the body. Just feeling into those sensations, beginning to close the wider world that is around you away and beginning to focus in on what's happening within yourself, right here and right now. Okay, so with the eyes closed, option here, if you want to take a hand to the chest, to the belly, to breathe into something physical, then do. If you are fine as you are, then just stay as you are. We're going to take some even breathing. We'll work from 4 up to 6 and then we'll come all the way back down. But if my breath pattern doesn't match yours, then that is fine. Do your own. So here we go. Let's take an inhale for the count of 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, and 1. Allowing yourself just to settle into that breath pattern, thinking about that smooth, that evenness of the breath, inhaling and then exhaling. I would like you to think about an intention to work towards in today's practice. Maybe simply a celebration of yourself. It doesn't matter what it is. See if you can hold it there in your mind's eye. Breathing in and breathing out. Okay. When you're ready, you can begin to open up the eyes or keep them closed if you prefer. We're just going to take the weight into the hands and just move, switch over those legs, balance ourselves out. You know, in yoga, we shouldn't feel pain, but we do want to be nice and balanced. Let's take the hands up above the head. Really stretch through the fingertips, reaching the hands high, finding that movement through the shoulders. Inhale, lifting the chest up towards the ceiling. Gaze goes up too, open through the throat. And then exhale, bring the chin down towards the chest. Take the hands behind you. And then begin to just take the gaze down towards the ceiling. Squeezing those shoulder blades behind you. Let's take an inhale, bring the arms up, open through the throat, but keep control of the head. Stretch through those fingers, really feel the webbing between the fingers spread. And then as we exhale, take the hands behind us, squeeze those shoulder blades together, take the gaze down towards the mat, find that stretch down the back of the neck. Okay, and then taking the head back to neutral, taking the arms high. From here, taking that right hand down, sweep that left arm over. Switch it out, right hand comes high, left hand comes down, reaching over. Just working with what feels good for you, finding your own rhythm. Maybe taking the gaze towards the ceiling, maybe not. Next time we're to the right, we're going to pause, taking the right hand down, elbow in towards the body, bring the left hand up and over. Pausing here, taking some little pulses, seeing if you can just really think about anchoring that left sit bone down towards the mat, bringing that left shoulder just open a little bit, maybe taking the gaze up and the chest opens towards that left side. And then switch out. Left hand is going to come down, right hand is going to lift, left elbow in towards the body. Come all the way over towards that left side. Little pulses. And then starting to open that gaze towards the ceiling. Right shoulder is going to just drop back ever so slightly, chest towards that right side. Take a moment here. Come back up to your seated. We're going to take the opportunity to walk those hands forward, hinging from the hips. So push down into the fingertips to get the bottom back onto the block. Take an inhale, lift and lengthen, engage through the core ever so slightly, and then walk those fingertips forward, bringing the chest down towards the mat. It makes no difference if you're up nice and high or if you're down low. It doesn't matter where you are, but we want to find that length in the spine. Push the fingertips back, find that connection, the sit bones to the block. Let's walk the hands over to the right side. Take the left hand on top of the right hand, and then drop that left shoulder down. Find that stretch into that left side. Keep the neck relaxed. With every inhale, think about lifting slightly, lengthening, and then lowering back down into the space where the air once was. Walk the hands to center, and then over to the left-hand side. Right hand places on top of the left, dropping that right shoulder just a little bit. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, lower down. And then walking those hands through center, walking them all the way back in. We're going to take the hands behind us, just taking those, not toes, they're fingers to the back wall. Roll the shoulders back and down. Open through the chest as you lift the chest towards the ceiling. Take a nice deep inhale. Feel that openness through the front body. Exhale, coming back up to a seated position. We're going to get rid of the block. Have the block near the top of your mat. We're going to come all the way round into a tabletop position. Okay, so we're going to be working into some strength today. That sounds fun. Okay, so let's start by just taking that right foot behind us and pushing through that right heel. This is a great opportunity to start to focus in on the core. So thinking about bringing that belly up towards the spine. Thinking about those hips being nice and level. Okay. From here, let's lift that right leg and just start to draw circles with the big toe. Keep control of the core so that we can start to build some heat into the glute. That core is going to be working hard to keep you stable. The only thing we want moving is that leg. Let's take it in the other direction. One direction definitely makes more sense to my brain than the other. Okay, and pause, keeping that leg hovering, we're going to take that right leg behind, crossing over the left, and then sweep it all the way round to the right side. Back round to the left. If you are looking for less strength, the toes down to the mat and just sweep them round. If you're fine for some strength, keep that leg hovered. That core is going to have to work really hard to keep you stable. We want to try and isolate the movement in the lower body. Okay, let's go for 2 more. And last one. Okay, from here, let's take the knees as wide as the mat, sit back into your wide-legged child's pose, walk the fingertips away, hover the palms, push down through the fingers to get the bottom back onto the heels, or close enough. Keep a nice loose neck. Take a moment here. Treat this as the resting pose that it is. And then come back into your table. Okay. From here, let's extend that left leg away. Pushing through the heel. Again, great time to check in with the core, making sure that it's doing what we want it to do, that we're not lazy. So we're going to draw that lower belly down, thinking about it, the belly button connecting towards the spine. Push through that heel, find that lovely stretch down the back of that left leg. You know where we're going now, don't you? So this is what's going to happen next. Engage the glute. Let's lift that left leg. Check in with the core again. Make sure that it is all switched on. And then draw those circles with the big toe. We want to isolate that movement coming from the lower part of our body. So if you're swaying in the top part of your body, then we just want to take smaller circles. Keep that core switched on. That glute on that left side should be working. Okay, let's take those circles in the other direction. This direction makes more sense to me. I am definitely a left-handed person all the way through. Okay, pausing there. Now, option to take the toes to the mat or to keep the leg hovered. Engage the core, take that left leg wide, and then sweep it all the way behind you to a point that is comfortable. So really working into the core, we're working into the glute, we're working to the outer and inner thigh. There is a lot going on here. The slower you go, the harder your body is going to have to work because you won't be relying on momentum. Okay, 2 more. That's it. That's all we've got to do. Here we go. Okay, left knee is going to come down. We're going to take those knees as wide as the mat again. Revisit your wide-legged child's pose. Take the bottom down onto the heels. Walk the hands away from you. Spider up those fingertips. Take that really nice stretch through the shoulders. Push the fingertips back into the mat to get the bottom back towards the heels. Okay, and then from here, bring the knees back into your table. All right, tuck the toes, engage the core, find your hovered table. We're going to extend the right leg away and then the left. Bring the left back in and then the right. Okay, let's go on the other side. Left leg extends, right leg extends, right foot comes back in, left comes back in. Okay, here we go. Right goes away, left goes away. Pause here, find your plank. Really strong plank. Option to come to the knees if you would like to. If you're in plank, push back with the heels, lift the kneecaps up towards the ceiling. Core is strong, glutes are strong. Shoulders over wrist, push down through the hands. Okay, find a down dog, walk the heels out. Take your time here. This is a resting pose, so they say. Start to walk through those heels, really wiggle through the bottom to release the lower back. Really think about moving the chest left to right, really getting that openness through the side body. And then pause in your down dog. Okay. From here, take the right leg high, reaching the toes towards the ceiling and that left heel coming down towards the mat. Take the right knee to the right elbow, nice and high, across to the left side, back to the right, and then find your three-legged dog. From here, that right foot is going to come through the hands. Keep the hands down on the mat. Just move through the hip space. So rocking over the toes. Okay. And then take that left knee down on top of the toes. We're going to take the block to the side to give us a little bit of stability. Come up over that right knee. From here, we're going to take the hands up towards the ceiling. Lift and lengthen, bring the chin up towards the ceiling, find space. As you exhale, take a little back bend here. Always thinking about lifting as opposed to dumping into the lower spine. Using the right hand on the block, send the weight back over that left knee. Take the toes on the right side up towards the ceiling. Hinge from the hips, take a forward fold over that right leg. Imagine chin coming towards that big toe. Thinking here about the nice long spine rather than rounding at the top, okay? Drawing the hips back nice and level. And then come back into that right foot. From here, keeping your hand on that block, lift the left hand, take a side bend over towards that right side. Maybe taking the gaze up towards the ceiling or over towards the left-hand corner of the room. Really thinking about moving those hips forward and down, finding that stretch through the hip flexor. And then from here, taking the block over to the left-hand side. We'll go again on the other side. Take the hands down, tuck the back toes, and then take yourself back into a down dog, walking those heels out. Take a moment to enjoy that feeling. Wiggle through the bottom. And then when you're ready, anchoring the right heel towards the mat, lift through that left leg, toes towards the ceiling. And now the left knee is going to come high on the left elbow, to the right side, to the left side, and then three-legged dog. Pause here. Take a breath. Left foot comes through the hands. Take a moment to rock over those toes. Just feel into the hip space. Okay, drop the back knee and untuck the toes. Keep that bend into the front knee. Take the hands high. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Imagine bringing the chest and the chin towards the ceiling. On the exhale, take a small back bend. Roll those pinky fingers in towards one another. Separate the shoulders. And now taking the weight over that right knee, taking the toes on the left side up towards the ceiling. Use a block for some support. Hinge from the hips, lift and lengthen. Take a fold over that left leg, drawing the hips level. So if you start to notice that the left hip starts to move around, draw it back in, switch that stretch on. And then that left foot is going to come flat. Keep the hand on that left block. Take the hand up nice and right hand up high. Really sink down into the hips, thinking about those hips moving forward and down. And then take a fold over towards the left-hand side. Really nice stretch through that right side body into the hip flexor on the right side. Maybe beginning to just twist over towards the right side to switch on a little bit more. And then coming back to center, taking the weight, removing the block, taking the hands down towards the mat. Tuck the back toes, find yourself back in a down dog. Walk out those heels. And then option to step, hop, or jump to the top of your mat. From here, we're going to just widen the stance slightly. Get your block and place it between your thighs so it doesn't move. From here, we're going to stand as slowly as you can, stacking each vertebrae on top of one another. Come into a standing position. So we have our block between our knees, okay? It's not going anywhere. You should tap your inner thighs. They should be working really, really hard. I'm going to move out of the way of my light. There's nothing but terrible things going to happen there. Let's take the arms high as we do sit back into your chair, okay? From here, we're going to take the hands to heart center, take a twist to the right side, back to center, a twist to the left side, back to center, take the arms high, sink yourself back down, find your chair, sit the weight back into the heels, maybe even with the toes, engage through the core and tuck the tailbone, take a twist to the left side, back to center, take a twist to the right side. I think my left and right's are wonky, sorry. Back to center, take the hands high, stretch up, release, come back. Okay, then we go for another 3 of these. Here we go. Take a twist to the right, that's more like it. Take it back to center, take a twist to the left, tuck that tailbone, back to center, take the hands high, come back. 2 more, here we go. Sit here, squeeze that block, take a twist to the right, to center, twist to the left, and center. Take the arms high, stretch up. Last one, let's make it count. Take the hands down, sink back into your chair, hold it here. Can we hold it? Can we hold it? Here we go, take a turn to the right, back to center, take a turn to the left, back to center, hold it here for 5, for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take the hands high. Oh gosh, okay, let's remove that block. Let's start to wiggle out those legs, get a little bit of life going back down there. Okay, take a block to the top of your mat. All right, so from here, we are going to take a large step back with that left foot. Okay, so here we go. We are lined up in our high lunge, that's the word. Bend over that front ankle, push back through that back heel, hands to hips. We want to keep those hips level. So we are going to take that left knee down. It's going to hover, squeeze the glutes to push back up, high lunge. We're then going to bring ourselves into a warrior 3. Left leg is going to lift, the glutes doing all the work. We're going to take that left toe down, engage the core, let's lift. Take a large step back. Much better to have a wider stance so that we stay stable. I'm going to go for 5 of them, but we're going to do them relatively slowly so that we can really harness that strength. So here we go. Nice strong high lunge. Core engaged. Let's go. Drop the back knee. Push to come up. Weight into that front leg. Lift through the left. Keep those hips level. If you need to use a block for some stability, then do. Left toe comes down. Take a micro bend to that right knee to give you some little bit of extra support there. Lift through the back leg. Large step back. Okay, we've got 4 more. Here we go. Back knee drops, squeeze to lift, warrior 3. Left toe comes down and lifts back into your high lunge. 3 more. Apparently I can't count. Okay, back knee comes down. Squeeze to lift. Warrior 3. Left toe comes down. Squeeze to lift. Step back. High lunge. 2 more. Oh my gosh. Okay, you can keep count. Drop that back knee. Squeeze to lift. Warrior 3. Left toe comes down, squeeze to lift, come back into your high lunge. 1 more? I hope so. Here we go. Drop the back knee, squeeze to lift. Warrior 3. Shaky legs now. Drop that left toe, squeeze to lift, come back into your high lunge. Really wobbly legs. Take the hands down. Gosh, take the right knee down, left knee down. Find a child's pose. We're going to pause here. Bring the hands down behind you, forehead comes down. Take a little bit of a rock from side to side. Reset the body. Reset the heart rate. Take a breath. I feel like it's just me trying to tell myself what to do. Okay, so we're going to do all of that, but we're going to do it on the left-hand side now. So slowly stack each vertebrae, come all the way back up. We're going to take the hands down. We're going to tuck the toes. We're going to send the bottom up into a downward facing dog. We're going to walk those heels out. We're going to take that right leg high. And we're just going to make some movement with the knee to move into the hip joint. So just take some circles with that knee in one direction and then the other. Plant the right foot down. Let's go with the left. Use that knee to draw the circles through that left side. And then take it in the other direction. And then when you're ready, pause in your down dog. Okay, left foot is going to come through the hands. If you need your block, you can move it to the other side. Okay, let's come up into your high lunge. Remember, wider stance is going to help you here. Pushing back with that back heel, nice strong back leg, knee bent over ankle. Here we go, you know what you're doing. Although I can't count, so you might need to count. Here we go, let's drop through that back knee. Squeeze to lift. Come into that warrior 3. Squeeze the glute. Let's take that right toe down and lift. And take a large step back. Okay, 4 more. Here we go. Lower that back knee down. Hover. Squeeze to lift. Take flight into that left leg. Keep a micro bend into that left knee. Squeeze the glute to lift that right leg. Drop the big toe down and lift. Big step back. Okay, 3 more. Right knee comes down. Squeeze to lift. Take flight into that left leg. Lift through that right leg. Squeeze the glute. Right toe comes down and then lifts. Large step back. Okay, 2 more. Here we go. Lower through that right knee. Squeeze to lift. Start to lift through that right side. Hinge at the hips. Big toe comes down and lifts. Large step back. 1 more. That's it. Here we go. Let's make it count. Lower, hover, squeeze to lift. Take flight into that left leg. Big toe comes down and lifts. Large step back. We did it. Okay, from here, take the hands down. Take that left foot back, down dog. walk the heels out. Okay. And then from here, we're going to take our knees down towards the mat. We're going to cross the ankles, bring the legs out in front of us. If you've got a strap to hand, this is a good time to use it. If you find that you are tight through the hips and the hamstrings, sit on a block. Okay, that's a good option for you. Sitting up nice and tall, we're going to stretch out the backs of our legs. So, take the strap to the underside of the feet. I want you to begin with to think about sitting up nice and tall. It's not a hard thing to do, but it's not something we do regularly. I imagine we're all a little bit slouchy. I know I am. So you have to think about sitting up tall. Open through the chest, bring that crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Engage lightly through the core. You're going to bring the elbows in towards the body, keep that chest open, and begin to just fold from the hips. Imagining the nose reaching the toes. Well, that sounded good, didn't it? Nose and toes. Don't do that enough. Okay. With every inhale, thinking about that lift through the chest, through the crown of the head. Lengthen as you exhale. Can you come down just a little bit more? And then if you feel like you want to start to fold down and round through the spine, if that is going to give you some release, then do that. Entirely up to you. Okay, beginning to sit yourself back up. From here, we're going to start to move down towards the mat. So moving any distractions you have out of your way, starting to lay yourself down. Option to come down through dish if you would like to. But once we're down, I want you to lay out the full length of your mat. From here, we're just going to bring that right knee in towards the right shoulder, finding that little pinch in towards the hips. Keep your hips nice and level, keep the shoulders level, back and down and the chest open, and then push through both heels. Hoping the heart rate is settled now. Beginning to feel that calmness starting to travel through the body. Okay, releasing that grip. From here, just take that right foot, into the inner left thigh. Come into a tree pose, but a reclined one. So really thinking about the openness of that right knee as the hip begins to open. And then we're going to take the hands into cactus arms. Just opening through the chest, thinking about the forearms pushing down lightly into the mat. Just to give you that sensation, that feedback from floor to skin. And then I'd really like you to just take a little bit of a body scan, just noticing if you're holding tension through the ankle, maybe through the kneecaps, maybe the glutes, maybe the back, the shoulders, the neck, teeth, maybe they're gripping. Taking a moment here. Okay, and then from here, take the right hand to support that right knee as it comes back up towards the ceiling. And then you're going to draw that right knee across the body to the left side. Take that left hand to the outside of the right knee and come into a twist. You can extend the right arm away from you, gazing over the right fingertips if that feels good. And then coming all the way back. From here, extend that right leg away. This time the left knee is going to come in towards that left shoulder. Just moving past the ribs, start to push through both heels, keep both shoulders back and down. Enjoy the openness through the chest. Revisiting those nice, long, smooth, even breaths from the beginning of class today. And then releasing the grip. Left foot comes into the inner right thigh. Find yourself into a reclined tree pose. Allow that knee to come open. If it's tight, if you're tight through the hips, then use a block or a cushion to support that left knee. Take the hands and the arms out to cactus arms. Use it as an opportunity just to take that body scan, noticing what's happening through the ankles, the knees, the glutes, the spine, the shoulders, the fingertips. And the jaw. Think about that nice long neck, maybe just dipping the chin ever so slightly down towards the chest, just to give you that extra length on the neck. Okay. And then from here, that left knee, no, left hand supports left knee. And then guide the knee across to the right hand side with that right hand. Extend that left arm away, gazing over the left fingertips if it feels good. And then slowly bringing your body back to center. I'm going to finish today with a happy baby. So from here, just bringing those knees in towards the shoulders and taking the hands to the outside edges of the feet. I want you to visualize pushing your tailbone away from you and towards that front wall. And I want you to visualize the crown of the head moving towards that top wall, the wall behind you. Just dipping that chin to chest slightly to lengthen through the neck and give you the longest spine to touch the mat that you've ever thought was possible. Draw those shoulders back. That chest is open. And then lightly just bringing those feet together. Allow those knees to move out to opposite walls. Think of a reclined butterfly. And then releasing the feet, grab those knees and just gently bring them together. And then this is your moment just to make any adjustments that you might need to. So maybe some circles on the lower back, maybe some hip circles, maybe some rock and rolls on the spine, whatever you need. Taking a moment just to move through. And then when you're ready, finding a comfortable place that you can rest. Removing any distractions away from you. Settling down. Just breathing in, breathing out. I want you to imagine that you are sat by a stream. Imagine the scenery. Your shoes are off. Your feet, your bare feet, are touching the green grass. You look out, and as far as you can see, There are fields, flowers, birds, freedom. You're by the stream and you allow its rhythmic ripples to fill your ears. It's the most perfect noise, and you are in the most perfect place. You inhale and you exhale. You inhale and you exhale. You look out across the stream to the fields. You take in the details, the little white flowers, the yellow ones too, the swaying of the grass, the sounds of the birds. You breathe in and you breathe out. You breathe in and you breathe out. I want you to feel the sensation of the grass touching your toes, the feeling of the tree supporting you as you rest and you look out on this most beautiful vista. And all you need to do is simply breathe in and breathe out. And breathe in and breathe out. You know that it is almost time to go. You take a moment to absorb it all. The feeling of the tree supporting you, the cool grass that touches you, the sounds from the stream that fill you up, and the beauty that is before you. And now is as good a time as any to revisit your intention from the beginning of class. As you breathe in and you breathe out, knowing that this place will always be here for you should you need it. Beginning to awaken the body, starting to stretch, move through one side of the body, then the other, bringing life back to it. And then when you're ready, slowly and surely, carefully bring yourself back up to a seated position, and I will be here